Hi, welcome to another Tips from Tim. This one is a brief note on language. In 1492, a man named Nebrija gave to Queen Isabella a grammar of the Castilian Spanish that she spoke. She may not have known the purpose of the grammar, but he made sure to put in the prologue to remind her that language has always been the companion of empire. In other words, just as the ancient Romans had imposed Latin and their Latin grammar on peoples all around the Mediterranean, just so Spain and the new empire that was augured in their getting rid of the Muslims and Jews in 1492, along with Columbus's sailing to the New World, all of that together signaled a new empire and the imposition of a particular conception of language on the rest of the world. The Spanish, along with Nebrija, generally recognized as forms of writing only those forms that used an alphabet. That is to say, if it was abstract in the sense of having phonetic representations of sounds, just like we have in the alphabet, then they recognized it as writing. In the Andean mountains, there was a form of writing known as the quipu, which involved having knots of different size and type with different colors, and those knots constituted a certain kind of writing. The Maya, too, had a kind of writing, and in fact theirs was, by so-called Western, from a so-called Western point of view, more advanced in that in addition to the pictoglyphs, it had a way of representing phonemes, not according to a Roman alphabet, however, and not on the kind of paper that most people would recognize. Before you is a picture of a Maya codex. You can see that typically it was put together in a kind of fan-fold fashion. You would put it together somewhat like you do a map, and you can see on it that there are a number of different images. These codexes were, for the most part, destroyed by the Spanish when they came to New Spain. With this chart, you see how the combination of vowel sounds with consonants makes for a separate phonetic representation. And with this chart, you can see that one can put together a word in different ways, partly with pictoglyphs, partly with phonetic representation. So not only was the Popol Vuh written in the language that we were just looking at, or at least originally written in that language, but other things as well. The stairway in the city of Copan is a history of the 14 generations of kings. And on each stair, each block on the stairs, there are things that are written. Over time, the blocks have gotten out of order, and putting it all back together is a bit like putting together a jigsaw puzzle where you don't know where all the pieces belong. But in a way, this whole staircase is just a really big book. Well, that's all for now. I'll try to get up a little thing about the Popol Vuh in the next couple of days.